Hey guys, Chad Hoover, and today I'm going to answer a subscriber question. All right, so in my Just a Tip short cast video, Family Tradition Fishing said, Chad, longtime watcher, first time commenter, LOL. I'm looking to get into kayak bass fishing and kayak bass fishing tournaments. Right now I have a pretty crappy kayak and I want to upgrade to a pedal drive. So my questions are, 1, is there a North Georgia KBF tournament line? And 2, what pedal drive kayak would you recommend? Thanks for the great videos, keep them up. Well, you're not gonna like my answer. And right now we don't have a North Georgia trail. We do have some stuff in East Tennessee and the surrounding area. So check out the Kayak Bass Fishing Trail Facebook page, click on the events tab, or go to kayakbassfishing.com, click on the events tab, and you can find all of the tournaments around the country. I will post the link up in the description box, and you can always jump in on the state challenge series and fish the online series. In fact, the online series is what I recommend for folks that are just getting started because it's not intimidating. You can go out there and fish. It's not very expensive at $25. You've got a chance to qualify for the national championship, win some money, take on some bonus bucks, win some prizes, and you can fish at your own pace, at your own time, in your own place, as long as it's public water or public access. Now, the second part of your question is the part that you might not be happy with my answer on. And the question is, what is my favorite pedal drive? And the answer to that is none of them. And you know, here's the thing. I've been paddling pretty much my whole life. Growing up in Louisiana, I either paddled a canoe, a john boat, a P-row. I got into kayak fishing. So I'll preface this by saying I'm very comfortable paddling. I grew up with a paddle in my hand, and I like managing my boat position, and I like being quiet with the paddles. But I also think that I need to make this point and illustrate my point by talking about the science of fishing and why I particularly don't use a pedal. I think the pedal drive benefit is to get you to places where you can catch fish. I'm not a big fan of using the pedals to hold in position to catch fish unless it's down current from the fish or downwind from the fish to where my sound is not going to transmit to them as well. The problem is sound and vibration do travel in water. They travel in water very well, and they travel in water 4 times as fast as they do in air. So when you start talking about the fact that a fish has a lateral line, that they have this ultra sensory perception of their environment, and that they can feel the vibration of a little blade like that, you know, from 20, 40, 50, 100 feet away, and you believe in that concept, then you should believe in the fact that if you're pedaling your kayak, if you've got a spinning prop, if you've got pedals that are displacing water, and more importantly, when you're sitting in this position and you extend one leg and the boat rocks that way, and then you extend the other leg and the boat rocks that way, and you're sending out these pressure waves, I know there are great anglers that fish out of pedal kayaks. I think those anglers are better than the kayak they fish out of because they're overcoming a deficiency, and that deficiency is that pedal drive puts off a lot of vibration. That pedal drive, in my opinion, is connected to a plastic hole, which is like a drum in the water. And when you tap on that, or when you rotate a pedal drive and that sound is transmitted through the hole into the water, it goes 4 times as far, 4 times as fast than it does in air. And to me, that has got a real potential to spook fish. Now, there are gonna be guys that watch this video and say, I'll pedal out of a kayak and catch fish all the time. And I agree with you. And I see people with trolling motors on the front of their boats running on high down a bank and catching fish all the time too. And most of the time, those fish are dinks. And most of the time, those people go on down the bank, and 15 or 20 minutes later, I catch a bigger fish and more bigger fish than they did because they spooked a lot of the wary fish. And it took a while for them to come back, and it took a while for them to relax so that I could catch them. So I've seen firsthand the effects of sound and noise and vibration on how fish react to those craft, how they react to that stimuli in their environment. And I'm just not a fan of putting myself at a disadvantage. Now, I don't fish tournaments that much anymore. I'm not fishing for money by and large. I'm out fishing, to make a living as a marketer, as an entrepreneur. So it's not popular for me to say that you shouldn't fish from a pedal drive kayak because there are companies that I'm affiliated with that have pedals and I just don't use them. It's a personal choice for me. I am not trying to make that decision for you, but I can't answer a question and recommend a particular product when I don't use it and when I don't believe in it. You know, I'm not a money grab person. I'm not a, you know, promote or market something that I don't believe in. Yeah, it's just not me. And so it's very difficult for me to answer the pedal drive question honestly without answering it honestly. And honestly, I'm not a fan. I don't use pedal drives. It might sound like a hypocrisy because I do use motors, but it's not, because I use my motor to get where I'm going, and then I raise the motor up and stow it, but for the most part when I'm fishing. You know, if I'm trolling from one place to another and I got nothing to lose because I wouldn't be fishing anyway, then maybe I'll have a lure in the water and I'll be trolling. Or if I'm running down a bank and there's a bunch of vegetation that's gonna insulate those fish from the sound of my motor or from the noise, or if the wind's blowing and I'm downwind of it to where I'm kind of being insulated by the chop and by the wind noise and things like that, then I'll play with it. But I'm never as successful with a motor running, and I've tried pedal drives, I've tried them all. I'm never as successful with a pedal drive kayak as I am in a paddle kayak. So I like to paddle. I enjoy managing my boat position. I think that there's a fallacy of hands-free fishing when you're fishing from a pedal drive kayak. I hear that a lot, but I see a guy that's fishing constantly reaching down and adjusting the rudder because you got to steer. So you're not really hands-free fishing if you have to constantly reach down to adjust the rudder to manage boat position. So again, I am not trying to poo-poo on pedal drives. I'm really good friends with a lot of people that use them, and a lot of guys that use them very successfully, both in recreational fishing and in tournaments. And I know guys that fish pedal drive kayaks that have put a lot of money in their wallet by the advantages or the perceived advantages of fishing from a pedal drive. I'm a bigger fan of using a motor to get me where I'm going, raise that motor up, and then when I'm fishing, I'm kayak fishing, I'm paddling, I'm managing boat position. I've almost always got the paddle in my hand or my lap, and I'm just not that keen on fishing pedal drive kayaks. And again, one of the big reasons is whether it's a Hobie where you're using your feet and going like this, you're still kind of rocking the boat, which is sending out pressure waves. Those fins are kicking out pressure waves much bigger than the spinner blade on a spinnerbait, or the wobble of a crankbait, or the side of a lipless crankbait. And for me, I just feel like in those situations, I'm putting myself at a disadvantage. You know, I've done the work and I've got the science behind it, and I've got a video coming probably midsummer where we're going to use a hydrophone, which is what scientists use to detect underwater sound. And when I show you how much noise a pedal drive makes, and I mean all the pedal drives, maybe that'll change your opinion too. So if you're on the fence one way or the other, that's your decision to make. For me, I fell off that fence a long time ago, and so until somebody makes a quieter pedal drive, or one that's more efficient or more comfortable for me as a big boy, I'm just gonna paddle. All right guys, so that's it. That's my opinion on the pedal drive. Sorry that I couldn't recommend a particular one, because I don't recommend any of them. That's just me. You gotta make that decision for yourself, whether you're on the fence, looking for advice, have decided, haven't decided. I'm not the guy to help you because I don't use them. So anyway, hope you liked this video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up down below. Leave a comment if you agree or disagree. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't done so yet, and turn on the notifications so you get a notification each and every time I release a new video. And by the way, before we go, I just want to clear up one thing. It's pedal drive, P-E-D-A-L, not pedal drive, P-E-D-D-L-E, or P-E-D-E-L, or P-E-D-A-L. Pedal is something that you drive a car with. It's something that you drive a bicycle with. It's a gas pedal, or a bicycle pedal, or a pedal drive, P-E-D-A-L. Pedal, P-E-D-D-L-E, or P-E-D-D-E-L, or P-E-D-E-L, or whatever, is to sell or to promote something, to peddle it, okay? And pedal, P-E-T-A-L, is a part of a flower. So again, it's just one of my little pet peeves out there. Not calling you out, anybody in particular, just one of those topics that I've always wanted to address. And I don't really have a choice. I don't really have an option that often because I don't pedal, P-E-D-A-L. But, you know, I do pedal. You know, I market and promote products for a living. So I guess if I was going to say my favorite pedal drive, it would be my show. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you next time on Kayak Bassin TV. P-E-D-A-L. P-E-D-A-L.